up, folks? Sean, the average angler, and today we are going to kind of follow up on some jig fishing stuff. Basically, what I have to say is, so you want to learn to fish a jig. So this is going to very much simplify the process of learning to fish a jig. Now, in the last video, I talked about the jig head with the Yamamoto hula grub. Okay, probably the easiest bait to get bit on. It's very subtle, which is why I think it's so easy to get bit on that bait. Today, I'm going to go a little bit more into your standard type jigs and what I pick. And you'll notice some similarities here, but first let's get into what do you need to fish a jig. Here's a couple of choices for you. This is an Irod Gen 3, right? 704, 7 foot heavy by Irod standards, okay? So something like that up to a Irod 734. You'll see a jig on there right there. All right, so you need yourself a rod to throw a jig on. Most standard bait casting rod, 7 foot to 7'3", medium heavy to heavy. Line, now remember, we're not flipping, punching here into cover. This is learning to fish a jig. 14-pound SC Sniper, 15-pound Berkley Big Game. Inexpensive, more expensive, right? They both work. They've always worked. I have caught a ton of fish on Berkley Big Game prior to fluorocarbon being a thing and never had a problem. Okay, actually, one of my larger fish at 12.8 came on 20-pound Berkley Big Game. All right, so we've got line, we've got a rod, a reel, bait casting reel, something like this. Use a brand of your choice. This is a Tatula 100, 7.3 to 1. So 7.3, 7.1, 7.5, somewhere in the 7-speed gear ratio will do you just fine. Okay? Brand of your choice. I like Daiwa and Shimano. You may like Lew's. The Cast Kings are good. I really like the Cast King Spartacus, which you can get for 30 bucks. So please do not leave the comments. It's too expensive. Okay? Buy the gear that you can afford, but when it comes to what you're putting on the end of the line, you need to buy something good. I use two different brands, okay? One is the brand in front of me that we're going to talk about. The other is Bass Union Jigs. They are a little different. If you watch my other videos, you know I like Bass Union products, okay? This, let's show you that one last. That one's special. This jig here is a 1/2 ounce football head. It's a 4/0 super sharp hook, and you will see that this guy goes to a lot of detail. If you can see, there's, come on, pick it up. There is purple in the weed guard, okay? This jig is called KC Craw. It is made by a gentleman who used to live in California. Now he is out in Arkansas. He has a website. I will drop the link in the description. These are the pro model jig. I will actually click on the link, get you the right page. But it's Johnny C's Pro Guide Jig, California Reservoir Lures. If you look it up, there is the website info, okay? California Reservoir Lures, right there. All right, KC Craw. It's one of my favorites. You saw it, it's got a great variety of color in it, but what I want you to notice was when you look at it from the top, like it's on the bottom, the coloring looks much more subtle, okay? You're still gonna pick up a little bit of that orange here and there, but the thing is, think about when you look at a crawdad. They're not one solid color. They're not two solid colors. There's typically a variety in there where you'll see some different shades. So that's very, very natural, okay? As far as a trailer, again, I'm going to keep it very, very simple. I have two here. Again, your choice. But my number one choice would be the 3.75 inch Yamamoto Flappin' Hog. Why is my camera freaking out? There you go. The color here is 301 or 297. Sorry. It's green pumpkin. It's got some purple flake in there. It's got some green flake in there. Very, very natural. It will pair to just about any color jig. Okay. The size is right. When I'm throwing this trailer on that jig, I pull off all these side appendages, only leaving the tails, okay? Creates a very nice, slender, easy to eat jig. And if you're fishing through things, it also comes through things pretty well because there's nothing to hang out the side. If you want to increase the bulk of the jig, you can leave some of the appendages on. This is a single tail grub, okay? You can use this as a trailer. Green pumpkin purple. It's going to match both of these jigs I showed you, or showed you one. Now I'm going to show you the other because this is a very special one. Okay, Johnny did a custom color for me. Okay, you will see there are 3 colors here. Very, very subtle. And something else I want to say about the heads, the paint. It doesn't come off like this one that you saw on my jig rod. That's another brand. Okay. This jig I actually tied myself, but it was on a Revenge jig head. No longer available. Anyway, the color here, you see the subtle reddish brown in there. Okay, the flat silicone, like this piece right here. That's oxblood. Then we have some purple, also in silicone. But then we have the brown round rubber on the outside. Look at it from the top. Again, very natural, very subtle. Okay, if you move around, you'll see some of the other colors in there. This is a very neutral, subtle, yet effective jig. Now, if you like that color, I am going to show you matte oxblood purple candy. Okay, Johnny just custom made these for me. See, custom. Now it's going to be in the product line. So you can get on there and get them. Now, if it's not on the website yet, you might have to do the contact, email Johnny and say, hey, I want to get some of those. Let me say the name again. Matte Oxblood Purple Candy. Okay, that thing is phenomenal. Both these jigs are fairly subtle. Okay, there's a lot more purple in this than in this, but both are pretty subtle. Both match trailers very, very well in a watermelon, green pumpkin, purple type shades. Now, your area, colors might be a little different, but I have found that these colors work everywhere, okay? So I'm guessing that they will work across the country, wherever you may be. If you're in Florida, maybe you need to go black-blue, okay? But for the most part, most places, these types of colors are going to work. It's why so many pros just use green pumpkin. You can always get green pumpkin and use your trailer for contrast. This is a phenomenal color. There you can see it a little better, right? Very natural, very neutral. Okay. I thread my trailers on. You know, thread it all the way on. It's not a chunk, so I'm threading them on. Depending on where I'm fishing, I may cut a few strands of skirt out. If you cut it out from the front, you need to take less because this will collapse easier. If you cut it out from the back, it might take a little bit more. You don't need to. His weed guards are not overdone. It's a phenomenal jig, very well thought out. There's a lot of pros out here that use them. A lot of pros around the country that use them. Very, very good jig. All right. So this is what you need to get. Look, man, if I got a comment on my last video, said he was 60 some odd years old. He's been fishing since he was 6 or 8. And he's never caught a jig fish. That's disturbing to me because jig fishing is not hard. Okay, get yourself a rod, a reel, some appropriate size line. Get yourself a 1/2 ounce football jig, a single-tailed grub, or a Yamamoto flapping hog, and let's go out and fish some points. Okay, just fish points. You can always catch fish on points. Fall is a good time to catch jig fish, okay? So it's a good time to go out and get some confidence in catching some fish on jigs. As you get confidence, you're going to find out you're going to catch a whole lot more jigs. Jig fish. Look, one of my biggest, a 12-8 came on a jig. My 2 biggest fish are both 12-8s. My other was caught on a freaking swim bait. And I lost one on a swim bait way bigger. But anyway, we're talking jigs. Let's get some confidence in jig fishing. You're going to love it if you do because you're going to catch a whole lot more fish. And look, wintertime's coming up. I want you to have confidence for the wintertime because that is premier time to fish a jig. The fish are moving slower. They like the slower moving bait. Crawdads provide a lot of protein. We're mimicking a crawdad when we're fishing a jig. Okay? Look how beautiful that is, huh? All right. Sean the Average Angler, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. We're going to see you on the next one.